New at 11, legislators are back in session to deal with the tight budget and to pass a new crop of laws. While the laws might seem relevant today, tomorrow's generation might have quite the laugh. See, New York has dozens and dozens of old laws that are obsolete, but as Randy Simons shows us, are still on the books.
From the Assembly to the Senate and finally to the governor's office, it's how New York laws are enacted, and no one knows them better than attorneys Paul Darrow-Nessian and Douglas Rose. And while thousands and thousands of New York State statutes are in effect, that includes some very old ones you may not be aware of. For example, when riding in an elevator, did you know it's against the law to talk to anyone? By rights, you're supposed to look straight at the door and fold your hands. In fact, I'm breaking the law by telling you about this in an elevator.
But I suspect that the elevator was, at one point in time, was a recent development, and people weren't used to riding in enclosed small spaces with other people.
And other laws still on the books. In New York State, no person is allowed to smoke within 100 feet of an entrance to a public building. Thank you. Any male caught on the street corner flirting is required to pay a fine of $25. If that male is caught flirting a second time, believe it or not, he's required to wear horse blinders.
It dates back to the Puritan times in the 17th century and the early 18th century in this country, where the Puritans were busy legislating morality into the actual civil code.
A lot of criminal laws do reflect moral values.
And the penalty for jumping off a building here in New York is death. Don't laugh. It's not only an actual law, but it's still on the books.
Probably came from the time that they started to erect buildings that were more than 1 or 2 stories high.
And according to New York State law, still on the books, a person may not walk around on Sundays with an ice cream cone in his or her pocket, but doing so Monday through Saturday, that's okay.
I think we tend to say, gee, these were old laws at another time. They didn't know what they're doing. Well, guess what? They're going to say that about us someday.
And while some old laws are funny, others still have the potential to harm, such as adultery, technically still a crime in New York.
If someone accuses you of being an adulterer, that's accusing you of being a criminal. So does that become a slanderous statement then, because someone's accusing you of a crime?
But the more the laws change, the more they stay the same.
We do the same thing today. When there's some type of perceived problem, someone says, let's make a law about it.
Something legislators have done in the past, in the present, and will continue to in the future. Randy Simons, CBS 6 News.
Certainly puts some things into perspective. Some local laws still on the books include Albany's ordinance that it's illegal to play golf in the streets. And in the city of Schenectady, they don't want you filling in nail holes with putty on Sunday.